All right, guys, we have 26.2. Again, this is first reaction, 30 minutes from actually seeing the announcement. So let's cover all the bases for today. The workout is for time with a 15-minute time cap. And I just saw the elite ladies perform this, absolutely smash it. And I think this is one of those workouts that we see the elite people do it. And then we average people as normal folks see this and we're like, yeah, we're gonna crush this also and finish this. But I think the fatigue for this workout is going to be surprising, especially in the shoulders and in that overhead pulling position here, all right? So the workouts for time, we have an 80-foot dumbbell overhead walking lunge into 20 alternating dumbbell snatches, 20 pull-ups. Second round, we're doing 80-foot, again, dumbbell overhead walking lunge, 20 alternating dumbbell snatches, 20 chest-to-bar pull-ups, and then we have 80-foot dumbbell overhead walking lunge, followed by 20 alternating dumbbell snatches, and then completing, if you got time, to finish with 20 ring muscle-ups. RX weight is 50 pounds for the boys and 35 pounds for the ladies. And I'll talk to you guys about scaling and all that stuff right now, all right? So here's the workout. Like I said, I have a feeling this is going to be a much more taxing upper body piece than people realize based on how the standards are, based on the dumbbell in that overhead position. So my initial reaction again is that it's going to be harder on the upper body than people think, all right? We did do a lot of legs last week. I'm finally fully recovered a week later from this. And I think a lot of people are thinking about the overhead walking lunge, but I don't think that that's really going to be that taxing here. It's really gonna be upper body, all right? So whether or not you should scale or RX this workout should be probably people are thinking, okay, ring muscle ups, I can't do ring muscle ups, I'm doing scaled, but there's a lot of things to do before that here, all right? Just to go over the scaled version, the dumbbell weight is 35 for the boys, 20 pounds for the ladies. And then what changes is the gymnastic movements, all right? The gymnastic movements, the first one, so instead of pull-ups, you're doing jumping pull-ups from a box, 6 inches pull-up bar to your head here, jumping and getting your chin over. But then on the second round, instead of it being chest-to-bar pull-ups, it's regular kipping pull-ups. And then instead of being ring muscle-ups, it is regular chest-to-bar pull-ups. So where I think you need to decide whether you're going to RX or scale is going to be based on this movement right here, all right, that first round. Can you overhead walking lunge that 50 or 35 pound dumbbell or whatever your age category is for 20 feet in a row, because that's the standard for today, all right? So if you can go 20 feet in a row with that overhead dumbbell, then you gotta try your best to go RX. Even if you don't have your pull-up yet, the Open brings this incredible feeling, this incredible moment called the Open Magic, where people get their first ever, right? I've seen people get their first ever pull-ups, I've seen people get their first ever chest-to-bar, and we are definitely going to see people get their very first ring muscle up this weekend, which is very exciting, all right? So whether you should RX or scale is gonna be dependent, I think, on the overhead walking lunge. All right, and yes, it might suck that if you can do it, but you don't quite have your pull-ups, you might be doing a pull-up attempt for a better part of, I don't know, 10-ish minutes here, right? But that's the name of the game for the Open, all right? So let's go into the standards of the movement here, okay? There's some really important things, and I got my awesome coach, Daphne, woohoo, right here, who's gonna demo some of the movements for me here. All right, now, again, this is 30 minutes post live, so we have no setup in our gym here, but the setup for the walking lunge has to be 20 feet, all right? And a note here is that you don't have to alternate arms in between. You can just stick to one arm. So if you have one shoulder that's injured for whatever reason, or you just wanna stick to the stronger side, you can do that. I would recommend alternating if you can. But the overhead walking lunge must be done 20 feet in a row. If you get no rep, you have to start back at the beginning here. All right, so it's super important that when you lock in, when you pick up that dumbbell and you start your overhead walking lunges, you gotta do 20 feet in a row, all right? So for the dumbbell overhead walking lunge, you gotta hold on to the handle, okay? You cannot hold on to the dumbbell head at any point. You must hold on to the handle overhead. You have to start behind the line. Again, we don't have any tape yet, but we will for our event tomorrow, Friday Night Lights. So once you're behind the line, you can step forward, knee must touch the ground, and then from here, stand up and continue that movement pattern. Thank you, Daphne. You don't have to go any further. You can come back. She's gonna do a lot of those tomorrow, all right? For the overhead walking lunge, another standard is that you don't have to bring your feet together at the top before going into the next one. You can keep walking into the next one as long as you fully extend. And then you actually technically don't even have to switch legs, right? Like it's kind of an awkward thing to do, but if you wanna kind of lunge, stand up, use the same leg, you can also do that as long as your body fully extends at the top here. All right, and again, you can choose which arm you want. You go 20 feet, make sure your foot crosses over whatever tape line or line your gym is gonna use, then fully extend at the top before you can take a break. All right, if you don't tap your knee down to the ground, you will have to restart back at the beginning of your 20 foot, all right, which is awful, so make sure your knee touches the ground. The other thing is you can have a little bend in the arm, the dumbbell just cannot touch any part of your body, all right? So try your best. The strongest position overhead is going to be with your arm completely straight, all right? Pro tip for you guys. Okay, now the dumbbell snatch. I'm gonna get you to turn, Daph. So, yep, perfect. So they can see you from the side here. For the dumbbell snatch, you have to alternate arms for this one. Dumbbell starts on the ground, both heads of the dumbbell, and then from here, drive overhead, fully extend at the top here, all right? The dumbbell must be over your head with your body fully locked out at the top. Super important here, all right? So if the dumbbell's in front of you, you must fully lock it out overhead, okay, before bringing it back down. You can switch midair, you can switch on the ground, whatever you prefer here, okay? 20 total reps. And then on the first round, we have our kipping pull-ups. Must be in full extension in the bottom, so arms are completely straight here. And then from here, getting your chin clearly over the bar. Okay, make sure your chin is clearly over the bar. Chin is not to the bar, but over the bar here. All right, that is for the kipping pull-up. And again, you can do butterfly pull-up as well. And then we have our chest to bar pull-up, where we are getting our chest or any part below our collarbone to touch and make contact with the bar. No touch, no rep. All right, so make contact with your chest onto the bar for this. All right. For the ring muscle up, we're not gonna demo it for today. We're gonna keep all of our energy for tomorrow's session, but for the ring muscle up, you must be in that full extension in the bottom, hanging. You can swing from here, get yourself over the rings, fully dip out and lock out the arms at the top before you go into the next one. All right, I believe that you can use some sort of jumping support, but you do have to start from a hanging position and just double check the rules on anything I'm saying, because again, this is only 30 minutes after the live announcement. This is for our CrossFit Max community, but also for people around the world who just want a little bit of a breakdown. All right, so again, guys, go through this. I have a feeling that this is slow and steady is going to win this race. Don't do massive sets that are going to crush your shoulders, crush your upper body, because if you are gonna get to the ring muscle ups, you are gonna need some energy and some strength in your upper body to get those muscle ups completed here. All right, did I miss anything? That's it, that's a wrap. Good luck for 26.2, and we'll see you guys next week for 26.3. See ya. I don't know about that, but you know how we do right here. Better let me say tonight, I done fucked up, brother got me hacked up.